record, I haven't told him anything. Okay, just tell me what you see.
Oh my God, come on.
Wow, what the fuck? Holy shit. I just saw something. Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, I see that. I feel it.
I've been under the influence of mind-altering substances a lot, but I've never seen anything like that. Whoa.
I showed over 100 people, and I kept asking myself, how are all of us seeing the same thing?
Oh my God. It changing shapes right there.
The laser was revealing numbers and letters running in a pattern.
They're almost like this big here, and it looks like code.
It looked like...
That was a thick laser.
That's why I told you.
Something, and I just want to take a picture of it and translate it.
Wow.
You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side. Light is just literally revealing it.
And each angle shows you different layers, different ways through it.
I could see through the wall. It's not like a hallucination. It has spatial awareness and permanence. I don't know. Whoa.
For centuries, mankind has attempted to explore these psychedelic, altered states, but we've never had a repeatable, testable phenomenon to observe until now.
Wow. I'm obsessed.
It's like you can see through the laser into another dimension.
I mean, like, take yourself to that. Like, I just made a connection that nobody...
Less means be less you. A soldier is a soul dyer. You are weakened on the weekend. From the weekdays. Days is unable to think in a state of confusion. On the weekdays you work a job, which is Hebrew for persecuted. On that job you earn. An urn is a vessel for the ashes of the dead. Awake is a wake. A wake is a gathering that takes place before a funeral. Hollywood is the holy wood, the wood from a holly tree. This wood was used to create magic wands. They cast spells to a broad audience through the tele-vision, through the Hollywood programs. The bottom of the foot is called the soul, and your heel is hell. Your soul is in hell. You must raise your consciousness to the head, heaven. Heel is hell, earth rearranged as heart, and head is heaven. They're inside of you, not external places. They teach you to say the vowels in this order, A-E-I-O-U, to train you to become a slave. They want you to think slaughter is laughter. English language is full of hidden spells. Join my free Telegram channel.
Tell you something. 48 years of study, I'm going to give you a secret. Nothing in this world is what you think it is. Government does not work the way you think it does. Religion is a corporation, especially in the Western world. All religions operate under maritime admiralty law. Maritime admiralty is the law of water. There are only two things on the earth, land and water. So there are two kinds of law, the law of the land and the law of water. The law of the land is the custom of the people who live on a particular piece of land. So the law of the land is different in every country.
Okay, got it.
But there is also a far more important law on the earth. It's called the law of the water. And that law is referred to in courts as maritime admiralty.
What are some of those laws that we're not aware of?
Oh, my goodness. When you walk into a courtroom, why do you go to court? You play basketball on a court. You play tennis on a court.
Right.
Yeah, how do you play tennis on a court? You play with a racket. Come on. And so when the judge walks out, he rules from the bench. Right? Look it up in a Latin dictionary. The word bench is a bank in Latin. And so the judge is ruling for the bank. That's why he wears a black robe, because the black robe represents the planet Saturn, the god of banking and law, who in the ancient world was called Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Well, he is Lord of the Rings.
Like this ring.
And so women were told in the ancient world to listen to their god, so they would wear an ear ring. Men were to get married before their god, so they wear a wedding ring, because Saturn was Lord of the Rings.
If I told you that this movie not only exposed the truth about things going on in our world, but there was also a scene in the movie where they predicted events that could possibly take place in 2025. The fact that this movie came out in 1988 and we're in the year 2025 right now makes it even more scary. So y'all pay attention and let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments.
Projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial, both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite. You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, and this year alone, by an average 39%.
Director John Carpenter also explained his reasoning behind making the film and the message that he was trying to get across.
Matter of fact, right now it's even more true than it was then. We are manipulated by a lot of media around us. We are consumed by consumerism. And as you can see in the recent events in this country, they are still among us. They do live, indeed.
Truth you better wake up and find out has been around you all of your life. You just didn't see it. Example, Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John Kennedy was elected to Congress 1946. Abe Lincoln was elected president in 1860. John Kennedy was elected president 1960. The names Lincoln and Kennedy both contain 7 letters. Both presidents were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both of the president's wives lost children while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot on a Friday in the head. President Lincoln's secretary was named Miss Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Miss Lincoln. Both were assassinated by Southerners. Both were succeeded by Southerners. Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908. John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was born in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald, who assassinated Kennedy, in 1939. Both assassins were known by 3 names: John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. Both names are comprised of 15 letters. President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln, made by Ford. John Wilkes Booth ran to a theater and was caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Booth and Oswald were both assassinated before they could go to trial. And a week before Lincoln was shot, he was in Monroe, Maryland. A week before Kennedy was shot, he was with Marilyn Monroe.
The truth is hidden in plain sight, and this is how they hide everything. If you are looking for the knowledge that has been hidden from us, if you want to know the meaning behind these symbols, if you want to know who controls the world, this ebook will literally unveil that to you, and ye shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free.
Has anybody talked to you about Wilkes' plan?
What I've heard that it's a portal. Portal takes you from one structure to another or to a vessel outside our atmosphere, like an invisible elevator. This particular portal was underground, inside a structure.
What did it look like?
It had a frame, had hieroglyphics, whatever the meanings were, we still don't know. But the structure, or the frame of this portal, acted like a wormhole from point A to point B, a moon pool.
A moon pool?
The description I've been told looks just exactly like a moon pool.
Okay, what is a moon pool?
A moon pool, say it's in a submarine that's very deep. You've got a hatch in the floor that is open to the sea. Water does not come in and flood the vessel. The ambient pressure keeps that water, but you can enter the water and ascend from it through this moon pool.
And so, do you mean that, using the word moon pool, that you're saying that there's something that's vertical that looks like a moon pool?
Looks like you're walking into the water, but it's not water.
Shape?
The ones I've been described of is square.
Square?
Yes, ma'am. It would be, I'm sure you've seen the movie Stargate. Exactly same thing, except the frame is square, not round.
So we got to talk about this. So Pope Francis dies at the age of 88 from battling with double pneumonia. But hold up, this shit is a little crazy. So let's rewind. Whoop. The Pope was in the hospital for 38 days on his deathbed. Critical. It was a moment where the doctors was like, he not gonna last, he not gonna make it through the night. Now remember like it was yesterday, every news outlet was talking about Pope Francis maybe passing away that night. But miraculously, he proved them wrong by making it through the next day when people said he wouldn't. They told him he was going to be feeling ill for a little while. They said he probably wasn't going to be able to get up and be mobile for at least 2 months. They wanted him to rest for 2 months, y'all. But guess what? He started feeling better and he discharged. He discharged from the hospital, y'all. So he got back on his grind. He like, y'all can't stop me from God's work. So he was back at work like nothing ever happened. But here's the thing. Right before he passed, he had a meeting with J.D. Vance. It was a so-called private meeting. But they said they were talking about humanitarian stuff. But then boom, y'all, the next day, he's gone. They say he went peacefully. I don't know, y'all. Something don't feel right. Let's go a little deeper. Everything started to change this day. Y'all remember when he opened them holy doors? I made a couple videos on this. He opened those doors and he invited the whole world to walk in with him. But after this, let me know if I'm tripping. This is when everything went downhill, y'all. I believe he opened one of the holy doors that has never been opened. Or hasn't been opened in a while, a long ass time. And then all of a sudden, he started going downhill getting sick. I even heard about the Vatican vault that they got underneath of the holy door. And I was hearing little whispers like he was finna open those documents down below. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. I'm hearing that shit down below is so secretive that even Pope Francis couldn't know about it. Y'all let me know if y'all heard anything about that too. This is what I want to know. If he was still so sick like they said he was, why did they let him discharge from the hospital early? I'm confused. All in all, RIP to Pope Francis, y'all. But something is not adding up.
Here is a dark psychology trick used by manipulators. A warning. I tell you this so you can protect yourself, not so you go do it. This is extremely powerful and toxic. It's called the stepped approach. Highly persuasive people know that it's easier for you to put up with small attacks first before they can fully control you. If someone wants to make you their own little pawn, they may first just raise their voice at you a little bit when you don't listen to them. Maybe not a huge deal, but then they will insult you the next time. Now you've already lowered your self-esteem and their perception of you, and you're a little bit closer to being under their spell. However, the next jump will get more personal, and it may even get violent until they have complete control of you. So what you can do, notice the signs early on and break it off with them.
No wonder Sunita Williams looked as if she had aged 30 years after leaving the spacecraft. There is a heartbreaking secret hidden behind this. After spending 286 days in the space capsule, Sunita, who is 60 years old, finally returned to Earth. However, the most attentive medical staff noticed that her cheeks had sunken in, and her hair had changed from thick and black to gray and fluffy, as if she had aged 30 years. It is said that when Sunita left the spacecraft, she couldn't even stand upright, because she had lost at least half of her muscles. Her bone density had also decreased by 15%, which weakened her bones and made her more prone to fractures. In addition, Sunita's eyes may have been damaged to some extent. The microgravity caused body fluids to shift towards the head, resulting in facial swelling and increased pressure in the eyes, which can affect vision. Most worryingly, when they returned to Earth, the real challenge began. In order to monitor the effects of radiation exposure, Sunita had to undergo multiple chest X-ray examinations every day, which was a huge burden on her fragile body. Do you think that Sunita's sacrifice for space exploration is a noble act?
Was being led into a room, and Visayas had been watching a television transmission from Chicago, and policemen had just shot a black man that was running away. And then the policeman apparently ran over and tried to save his life. Okay? Visayas turns to me and he says, I don't understand your race. I don't understand why one would try to take his life and then the next minute try to save it. I didn't have an answer. In fact, many times I don't have an answer. Another time, I came on board. I was living in Lake Arrowhead at the time, and Mornay was looking at a group of meters on the ceiling of this ship, and it was all about the ozone and the air, oxygen content in our atmosphere. And he looked very distressed, and I said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "Don't they understand that all of this is here because they need it? They don't understand how we can just so carelessly destroy our environment." Now, folks, I want to share something with you. If there was not divine intervention, which apparently there has been, March 23rd of 1994, if there has not been divine intervention, and I will cover that, according to the Andromedans, we would only have 41 years left worth of oxygen in our environment. 3,500 years ago, the oxygen content, they say, was at 35, fluctuated between 35 and 38% between the North and South poles. Today, at its highest level, it's less than 18%. Now, those of you who took biology, what happens to the human form when oxygen as a gas goes below 15%? We die. We suffocate. This is reality, folks. This is reality. This is not Peter Jennings. Okay? This, you know, I mean, we don't have anywhere else to go. You know, and for those, and this is just what I've been told, and for those of you who think there's going to be a rapture, you might be disappointed. And I'm not saying this to question your belief. I'm just telling you that there are much bigger forces going on here. Okay, next slide, please. Save the question, sir, for later. Okay, please. Next slide, please. Okay, this is our solar system. There is life in all of these systems surrounding us. They have been coming here for years. For years they've been coming here. Okay, mythology, there's a shred of truth in all of it. The work that Zecharia Sitchin is doing, an absolutely fantastic book is called The Gods of Eden by William Bramley. I would suggest that those of you who have not read it, go get it in paperback version. It'll bring you right up to speed right away. It's wonderful. And he's not a UFO person, which is why I enjoyed it even more. All the truths, just let him right to it. In fact, there's more truth that the aliens are out there than they aren't. They just don't want you to know because they don't want you to know who you are. Because the minute we wake up, the game's over. They cannot control us. And if you look at our past history, if you read Zecharia Sitchin's books, we as a race, when we stand together, rebel against the gods, the ETs. We rebel because they have been, pardon my French, shitting on us for thousands and thousands and thousands of years and holding us back. Next slide, please. Okay, here's Earth. If we could just get focused, thanks, Anthony. This is what's left of Maldek, you know, the series of planets. The moon is not the only artificial. There are 9 artificial moons in our solar system, and I will share with you later what those are. I just want to cover a lot of information. Okay, next slide. Okay. Okay, this is the typical and traditional picture. Does that look focused to you? Yeah. Okay, maybe it doesn't. Okay. This is the traditional picture that we see of Earth. We got an awesome home, folks. It's one of the nicest ones around. But there's some things about our planet that have been withheld from us. For example, our Earth is, in fact, hollow. It is hollow. The next slide, I'm going to show you a NASA photograph that proves that there's an opening at the North Pole. Okay? You can find this photograph in a book called Our Violent Universe by Nigel Calder. It was first released in England, and I don't know how this one slipped through the cracks, but it did. Thank goodness. We are told that the gravity of our planet has to do with the rotation. According to the Andromedans and their science, the radiation of